Morning, everybody, and aloha. Welcome to Just Talking 24, page 42. This morning, let's jump right into it. We're going to talk about MAGA. MAGA, what an evil name, yeah. And from talking with my friends and talking with people and watching what's on the TV and watching what others have to say, it just means different things to different people. Everyone, it's based on memory. Really, how far back your memory goes, that's the idea of what America was great. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I keep saying that we're on our way down. We're on our way down. President Trump has found a way to slow down the runaway trade. Okay, he's really it's going to appear like he turned everything around, and it can be like that. It can really, but we're starting to come together. It's gonna take a while because people, they don't want to say they were wrong. They don't want to say they don't want to give up power like the Democrats. But and it's becoming a bad and it's bad that it's becoming a bad name because Democrat, the word Democrat means the power of the people. Demos, demos, the people. And it was based on a party too that goes back to pre Civil War, Democratic Party. But they just got too big for their britches, and when you start, there's a saying that says absolute power corrupts absolutely. Well, you saw it, you're seeing it. They come out and just blatantly lie to us, you know, and the people have had enough. They've reached their limit, most of them. Some people, they just don't. I don't think they. It's not that they don't have a limit. They just lack the courage of saying, "Hey, enough already." You know, I see that and I understand that. Well, I accept it. I don't understand it because I have a point where I say enough already. And although I'm getting older and my limits are, my fuse is getting longer. I used to have a really short fuse. Like I told you, you stick a finger at me and I'll take that finger and I'll break it off your hand if I can. I used to have a very short fuse, and as you get longer, as you get older, the fuse gets longer, and you get more tolerant of the imperfections of other people as you see them. See, and that's what MAGA is. MAGA is as you see it. And President Trump's coming around, and the people are coming around to President Trump. See, even he won't give in. And this shutdown that the government's going through, I applaud the Republicans for not giving in because, I saw this one where the girl says, you guys have the power. Well, he says, but you don't understand. We have the Democratic power in the Senate. We have 53 votes, but we need 60. That means all we need is 7 more votes. We got 3. 3 Democrats have come over. So we have 56. We need only 4. Okay? 4 out of the 43 votes you got. 10% got to come over to us, and then we can pass it. But you guys won't even give 10%. And yet you want us to come over to you 100%? Where's the equality on that? And for what? Going to your side is bad. Coming to our side might not be the best, but at least it's equitable. And the person couldn't say anything. They're losing it, folks. They're going to lose it. And I told you the swing is going to go the other way. I'm just hoping, and this is a very feeble hope, but I'm just hoping that the Republican Party doesn't do the same thing the Democratic Party did. But who's going to keep them in check, right? They got to keep themselves in check. That means responsible representation. That means the same thing. Just it's going to be the same thing. Just the name's going to change, and the party's going to change, and everything's going to change. But eventually, it'll get corrupted again. It will. That's just our cycle. That's just the way man is. But these government shutdowns and stuff, they have to happen. And I've told you they had to happen because the government just got too big. That's what happens. It gets too big, and you just can't control it. It's like our state Department of Education. They wanted to, the lawmakers wanted to get an audit. Where's our money going? We're spending millions and millions of dollars for education, and we're not getting results. What's happening? So they contracted a mainland firm because I guess a local firm couldn't handle it. But they contracted a mainland firm to come in and audit our Department of Education. And they came in, and I don't know how long they tried to audit. And spoiler, folks. They came back, and their final report was, we can't audit you. You're unauditable. How does a department become unauditable? They said it's so mired in in BS bullshit that they can't get down to the basics. They cannot get to the basic numbers. They cannot get to the truth. They can't give you an audit. In order to have audit, you got to have correct numbers, and you got to know where the numbers go. And you know how an audit works. They couldn't. They can't even get the correct numbers. They said we tried. It's mired in complexity. It's mired in bureaucracy. And guess what are the kind? Normally, okay, when somebody tells you that, what you gonna do? You're gonna overhaul the system, right? Yeah. They said thank you very much, paid their bill, and it keeps going on, folks. They were told right to the face, hey, you got a broken car. Okay, fine, keep the car. Keep putting money into the car. Keep fixing the car, No, you think that suck. Keep adding oil to the motor, and the motor's gone already. It's just blowing blue smoke out the back and everything, and just keep putting oil, more oil. Oh, that's our local ineffective government, and that's how the nation was getting. And President Trump saw that, and he's in the process of tearing down and overhauling, and that always hurts, because you see stuff that you don't want to see. Whether it be your own driving techniques, the cheapness you did on your lubricants, or the lack of quality or you used them, or the poor quality that the motor was put together in the first place. Whatever it is, unless you've rebuilt that motor yourself, you don't really know what's in that motor. And he's trying to overhaul the nation, and it's gonna hurt, folks. It's gonna hurt. But see, he's doing it, and he's doing it without the bureaucracy. He's doing it out in the open. What you guys wanted? You guys wanted transparency. This is transparency. Remember, like, what's his name? In A Few Good Men, Jack Nicholson. He tells Tom Cruise, the truth, you can't handle the truth. And that's true. People say it all the time. I want the truth. You slap them with the truth. Not. Okay. You asked for the truth. You got the truth. And you tell me no. You jump into the river. Funny, yeah? That's how people are. And that's what's happening. And MAGA, that's the uphill climb he's got. He just put it out there, MAGA. He put out the concept, MAGA. And MAGA means different things to different people. But his ultimate goal is a better America. It is. But we gotta be very careful that we don't go all the way. You gotta put just enough acceleration so that we move uphill, but we don't move it so fast that at the top on the turn, if we're not going slow enough for the turn, off the cliff. It's a very delicate thing. In the beginning, yeah, you can give all the gas you want, but as you start getting to the top and start achieving it, achieving the balance point, you gotta slack off the gas. Right now he's on full acceleration, and it's happening. It, you know, it's happening, and it's happening at the rate that I expect it to. People are slowly, even the diehards, are coming over to to the Republican side. And like I said, I'm not a Republican. I'm a conservative. Okay, I'm more conservative in my view, but I'm open to change. I am open to change. I am not saying that we gotta do it this way and this way only. There's always two sides to an argument. Sometimes, okay. Like Charlie Kirk. Believe it or not, his death is the birth. Really, his death is going to be the birth of a new nation. This man, he was that important, really, to America. He was the catalyst. And when you shot him in the neck, you released the kraken. That was a final point for a lot of people. You know how you don't have to solve stuff with that, that way, if you want to. Because look what they're screaming for. They're screaming for the guy's execution. But I'm gonna see what the investigation comes out. And again, they say, well, you can't trust that. Yeah, that's true. But Trump's one, I trust more because Kash Patel is more transparent. The guy is going. Hopefully, he'll come out with something that more closely resembles the truth. No matter what it is, we're going to hear it. And they want to make sure that all the T's are, all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. Yeah, it's that important to them. And and that's part of all making America great. That's how we used. Well, that's how I hoped we were. Because when I was growing up, I didn't know all this stuff that was happening underneath, right? And so, it was a simpler time. It was an easier time. It was a time where it rewarded you for your own initiative. It was a time where the opportunities were there. But that doesn't mean they're not opportunities now. It's just that the kids today want instant gratification. Remember I told you I had another talk about instant gratification? That's what they're looking for. And they're just not taught that you got to work hard. You got to work hard to get what you want. Athletes know that. People like Elon Musk, he started with nothing and, look at how far he's gotten. Then you got people like Bill Gates, who actually just bought an idea and extended that idea and made money real fast. And he truly doesn't realize what he did, although he likes the power and he likes the stature. But he's finding out that, oh, maybe my way not the best way, and that's because Microsoft is going down and Linux, that's coming up. Always got competition. Don't ever think you're the best. That's one thing I was taught. Don't ever think you're the best because there's always somebody better. Now, you can be happy where you are, or you can try and get better. And right now, MAGA is trying to make America better. But they don't want, not everybody, we're all different. We have all different cultures, we have all different experiences, we have all different, paths that we ride and that we travel. But MAGA tries to bring everybody together, not that you have the exact same idea, but you have the exact same principles. Now, how you apply your ideas to your principles, that's up to you. I know I'm talking riddles here, but it's not. It's really, it's KISS. Keep it simple, folks. Don't make it overcomplicated. Keep it real simple. And we don't see simplicity because we love complication. That's what the Democratic Party does. They make everything so complicated. They use words the wrong way, but they try and put this word salad together to make you see their recipe taste so good, but it's actually full of fats and trans fats and everything else and false promises. Well, Trump is trying to give you the truth, and the truth is hitting you, and a lot of people, they're beginning to, it's like that baby with the first taste of ice cream. You ever saw that video? And the eyes open in astonishment, like, what is this? It's pretty good. Well, same thing. The only thing is you're going to expect the truth. And no, really, we're worth the truth, but we got to be able to take the truth, good and bad. That's the part. It's not all good. There are bad. We're going to take one step forward, one step back, or two steps forward, one step back. It's always a back and forth, back and forth. You just cannot go on and on. You cannot just keep accelerating. Even a drag strip, you gotta get off the gas at the end. Well, let's not wait to the end to get off the gas. Let's do it controlled. Let's go on a freeway where we accelerate to get on and hold to accelerate to maintain speed, and then take off to when we slow down. I mean, that's how life is. And that's how we've got to see MAGA. MAGA is good. Okay, it is. It's a positive thing if done responsibly, if done correctly. And Trump is hard because he's not only got the U.S., now that he's established us as a world power again, we got to be big brothers. We got to be the world's watchdog. And he's doing that just to strengthen the U.S. He's taking it so far up. He's got to take it away from China. That's what he's got to do. He doesn't say that, okay, but that's our greatest enemy right now is China. But nobody focuses on that. It's Russia, 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 Russia. Let me tell you something, folks. Russia, it's there as a convenience. Russia was there as like a scapegoat. That's what Russia is. I mean, they've got only 100, they got less than 200 million. In fact, it's getting smaller, okay? Their GMP down, GDP down. Everything is down except for, see, what do they have? They have oil, but the oil doesn't come to America. It goes to the rest of Europe. They have some oil, they have some, natural resources. But the thing is, they're convenient to have. The Russians, the Russians, the Russians. That's not a true enemy. A true enemy is ourselves, really. If we can get together and come together, you know how an invincible power we would be. But then we've got to be able to control that power. It's great. It's great to be, an invincible power, but when you do, you get a lot of resentment. And if you do it, if you just pound everybody like a big bully, people going to fear you, but they won't respect you, or they respect you out of fear and not out of actual respect, not out of earned respect. And it's a really delicate balance. That's why I said I would not take his job. Oh no, President Trump, I guess he's always wanted to be this, he wanted to always have the power and the control. And the second time around, he's better. He's learned. He learned from the first time. He's learned. And he learned enough to destroy. Imagine that. He's destroying the Democratic Party. One man taking on a whole party. Because the Republicans are just sitting back and just, yeah, he's okay. He's doing all right. He's doing good. They're not saying nothing. They're not doing nothing. They don't have to. Just hold tight and watch what's happening. And they're not stupid. They see what's happening. And the Democrats are just, they're just hanging on by their fingertips. And it's going to be sad because what happens if the Democratic Party does fall? We become one party, folks. And that's just as dangerous as having two. Yeah, without the balances and the checks, you can go the other way really easy, really easy. Yeah, and just it's all on leadership. The leadership got to say, hey, wait a minute, hold it, and you got to have responsible leaders like Trump, and then you got to put on limits to how many years you can stay in some place. Why? So that you get this constant change, this constant moval. They say, well, the country can't move forward. Yes, it can, because you get constant new product, constant new ideas, constant new, you know, and they're going to learn that you don't bicker because you don't have that much time. If you're going to make a footprint, you're going to make a footprint really fast. You got only this much time and you got to do it. So you got to work if you're a worker. If you're going to slacker, you're going to slack. That's all. And no pension. No pension for the kind of elected officials. Come, give, thanks, gone. Come, give, thanks, gone. That's what I want to see. That's the kind of government I want to see. I want to see a government that actually has the potential for growing, has potential for renewing, has the potential of being for the people. And that's the only way you do it. You don't make it stagnant. You keep that water flowing. You keep that river flowing. That's what will drive your turnstiles. That's what will drive your turbines to make electricity. That's what will drive. That's what will get you from point A to point B. Movement. And that's what we need. That's the kind of government we need. I know it's really weird. It's been brewing in me for years. For years, I've always thought, oh, this government just so stale, and we don't move. And we listen to the we listen. Sorry, but Hawaii is Democrats, but we listen to the politicians, and that's they get to talk, But when you talk to them, man, you stupid. No, really, I've spoken with quite a few, politicians, and man, they really they're parrots. Yeah, whatever the Democratic Party tells them to say, they say, no matter what. And that's not what you want. You don't want that in government. You don't want that as a leader. I'm the leader. Which way did they go? Kind of thing. Yeah, you want leaders like Trump. Trump is a good example. Leaders who lead. He's not perfect. He's not, gang. He is not perfect. That's why I said, I don't know the man, but I like what he's doing. I do. He's arrogant. Of course, you gotta have that confidence, that arrogance. He has it. I mean, he just tells you how it is, which is sometimes a little bit sharp, but that's all right. You know, and the thing is, it's sharp, but it's not untrue. A lot of the times, what he says is true. He'll call you a idiot. You're a idiot. I do that. You're an idiot. What you gonna do about it? You know. And if they want to, we go to that level. You want to go to that level. I mean, I can't go as before, but I still can go, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's the way the MAGA is. It's making America great again, but we gotta change. People talk about change. Well, guess what, gang? We're seeing change, and a lot of us, we don't like it, but after it happens, it's like the kid with the ice cream. They don't know what it is to put in mouth. Hey, this stuff is pretty good. Well, you get the guys that didn't want the National Guards in their area, and now they're coming on saying, now the kids can go outside play. We can walk through the store. The thing is, what happens after they leave? You gotta keep it up. You gotta build, that 1.5 trillion. Let's go to build more prisons. And I'm talking about prison is not a spot for rehabilitation, folks. That's why I tell people, if they want to find religion, go to prison. More guys come on, I found Jesus. Yeah, right. Until you get out. And so much for Jesus. Yeah, but we build more prisons. Eventually, you can turn the prisons into, just giant fields of waving green. Hopefully, but for the first 20 to 50 years, they're gonna be prisons, and we gotta incarcerate. And we got to give them, no, you don't get rights. When you do a crime, you give up your rights. See, that's what I mean. That the Constitution got to be revised. You know, I've said it before, and I know Trump, I really, the stuff that Trump says, I agree with, and that's one of them. Got to not replace the Constitution, take the original ideas and revise the Constitution. And not by Americans either, because Americans can come, do it internationally with an international group that they have, take one from column A and one from column B, as far as their individual governments and their vocations. Are they economics? Are they political? Are they, whatever, medicine? But, it's going to be doesn't have to be a very big committee, but it's got to be a committee. And remember, I told you in groups of threes, in numbers of threes, so 21, 24, 27, 30, whatever. But it's got to be in groups of threes. That'll really help. And if we could do that, we can rewrite our constitution. I don't think Trump's just trying to clean house. He's starting with his enemies. The only difference is these guys actually committed crimes. Yes, they went against him, but no, they actually are criminals. Small difference. But see the spin? Yeah. He's doing it out of retribution. He's doing it out of revenge. No, he's doing it because they're criminals. It's like the question, why, are black people, there's so many black people in prison. You know why? Why? Because they got caught and they did the job. They're criminals. Duh. Yeah, they may be only 12% of the population, but they do 54% of the murders and they comprise 85% of our populations in the prisons. Why? Because they got caught? No, because they did the crime. Oh, that cracks me up every time they say that. Yeah, you're not dancing with me because I'm black. No, she's not dancing with you because you're ugly. But anyway, yeah, that's my take on MAGA. We all got to do our chore, folks. We all got to do our bit. And we may not always agree, but we got to agree to disagree. Got to come together as the United States of America. And it's happening. I see it's happening. And all of this turmoil and this negative stuff on the news and the internet and everything, it'll slowly go away. They're going to find out that it ain't worth it. They want their minute in history or minute of fame, and it ain't working. And people are starting to laugh at them, and they're gonna shame them right off of the thing. That's what's gonna happen. Look at even CNN is turning. When CNN turns, that's bad. But yeah, that's what's happening, and just watch and go with it. And if you want to back it up, I back it up all the time. People tell me, about MAGA and Trump, and I thought, well, wait a minute now. You gotta listen to the man. Everything the first thing come out of their mouth is Trump, Trump, Trump. I said, okay, fine. If you want to label it as Trump, he don't care. The guy is so rich, he don't care. Plus his stuff is working, so he don't care. Now they're talking about, Nobel Peace Prize. Hey, they gave one to Obama, remember? And this guy's going to go jail. So, the Nobel Peace Prize, yeah. You keep it. It's cool. Take the money and put it towards world peace or something. I don't know. Well, yeah. Anyway, another week coming up. I don't know what I'll be talking about next week. Let's see what comes up. Like I told you, I don't like the politics. I just like the ideas behind it, which is political. Can't help. But like I said, please tell your friends about it. Like and subscribe, as always, and give me ideas. Come on, guys. Let's talk about ideas. I don't want to go super deep, but I don't want to stay super shallow either. I want to know your ideas. I want to explore your mind. You explored mines already. It's called empty space. Yeah, the black hole. That's my mind. But have a great one, and I love you all. And as usual, ahui ho, malama pono, and always aloha. Bye bye. See you next week.